Welcome back with your girls here on another episode of Mindset Talks Podcast, your favorite podcast dropping every week on Tuesday with a new episode.
Yes. Hey guys. And as you noticed, I need to stop commenting on this, and I say this all the time. Amanda's little tune she got going on there today. I think that means she's a little happy.
Cassie won't let me live. Anyways, y'all already know the deal to go ahead and follow your girls on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, aside from subscribing on your favorite podcasting platforms as well. We are here. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the deal. And of course, on Fridays at 9 a.m., we're on WDJY 99.1 FM every Friday. So we're here, we're everywhere. Tune in anytime. We're with you.
Yes, definitely. Make sure you guys do that and support us because we just love you and we want to keep going. So we need that from you.
Yes. We need that, and we are here. But can I just say real quick, because I'm trying a new hairstyle, not anything I'm taking seriously, and I'm sorry for those of you who are tuning in via your favorite podcasting platform because you can't see me, but I'm just doing something a little different here, and I feel like I look like a very young girl. So I'm thinking I might reference this, hairstyle when I hit like 40, so that way I don't like look my age, because it's really like coming to me right now, that I'm like mid 30s.
Hmm.
It's like, and I think it's because my sister's birthday just passed and she made it into 40. Sorry, sis, if you didn't want anyone to know, but you're there.
God.
But she's really embracing it, actually. She does not look like it, but it just really like dawned on me that, oh my gosh, like this is where we're really at in life right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, it is.
So I'm not the type to dye my hair or to like cut my hair, like I was thinking about cutting it, but I feel like that's a bit extreme
Do
for my mental thought.
not. We have taken so long to get here, and I just love the length. So if
Not
you cut
we.
it, I will kill you. Yes.
At least like a trim, but I don't know. So I just thought I'd try something different. And for those of you who are listening, all I did was just like two pigtails, like a half updo with two pigtails, and the back is down, so it's not anything like exciting or crazy. But still view us on YouTube if you want to see my hairstyle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just trying something different here. I don't really know what I'm doing, but
I noticed
you know.
something was like different and off, but like I couldn't really tell what it
I know. I
was.
was like, damn, this chick didn't even say nothing about my hairdo. Like, usually Cassie is good for if I like it or if I don't like it. So it's not like she's only gonna comment if she does like something. If she doesn't like something, she's gonna question you. She did not question me, guys. So I'm like, all right, well, we're just gonna bring it up on the episode
Oh,
then, since
that's
this
why.
chick don't want to talk about my hairdo.
I did
Golly.
notice it. Well, I noticed like something, but like I kind of like couldn't put my finger on it. When I was like, I feel like she did something with her hair, but like I'm not too sure. So I'm just not gonna say anything.
Yeah, no, it's just like she looks like she's 10 years younger.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I see the theme you're going with because I could have sworn I told you a couple episodes ago that you look like a little schoolgirl. So I feel like you're kind of on that same wave.
I can't stand you. And the fact that I don't even remember it just alone is enough for me to be like, wow, I'm really getting old.
Oh man, aren't we? But I like being old because our generation to me is just the shit compared
Mm,
to some of these other ones. And some of these
ciao.
newer generations are just so wild. Like, and I don't,
Mm.
well, you know what? They are kind of crazy. So, like, I actually do mean wild, like, literally. But when I'm saying this, I kind of just mean like all of their like morals and they're just like self of self of I don't what am I trying to
Mm.
say? They're like
Lack of.
lack of self like worth is just like it's just kind of like insane to me. Like I don't know. It's just
They're different. I mean, and I'm not saying, obviously we're not categorizing everybody, right? But it's a large amount of people from these newer generations that are
mhm.
so I guess I feel like it's just highly influenced by social media or highly influenced by trends.
Yeah, and I don't know, and I know we have kind of like touched on this a little bit in the past, but like I don't know at what point people decided that wearing lingerie outside was okay and acceptable, but like it will never be acceptable, it will never be okay, and we just
No.
I feel like we as women, right? Like we really have to like start turning this around because it's just getting like
Mhm.
insane. Like I went to the mall yesterday and there was some girl, she looked young, right? So she had to have
Mhm.
been like I don't know, maybe close to 20 or something like that, and she was
Ooh, that's
in,
really
like,
young.
sweatpants, and she had, like, a bra on, and she was,
Oh.
like, walking around the mall, and I was just I tried not to, but I stared at her so hard just because I was trying to, like, process this in my head, and I was like, "Why is she out here like that?" Like, that is something, like, you would wear, like, around the house or, like, when you're, like, with your girls or something like that, like, in this
Right.
like, in your house.
Right,
Um,
indoors of a
but it
residential
was just
location.
yeah, it was like a sports bra. Like it wasn't like, a
Oh,
like lingerie
yeah,
bra, but
that's
like I was just so taken back by that. I was like, "Hmm." I was like,
yeah.
"When did this really become a thing?" Because I know we didn't do shit like that back in the day. And like granted, like when we went to school, like spaghetti straps were banned. So
Oh my goodness.
w-
Oh my
where did
goodness.
these dress codes go? Like you couldn't show your belly button. Like there it was so
I
different.
don't know. There's like it seems like things kind of hit an extreme for, like women's rights and like freedom of expressing yourself, and then it's just like, well, women shouldn't feel uncomfortable being who they are, which is absolutely true.
Yes.
But then it's just like now it seems like it hit an extreme of like, if you want to go out in your bra, go in your bra,
Yeah.
you have the right to be in that bra, and it's like your titties aren't hanging out, they're just tucked away in your bra, so it's like a shirt, and it's like,
Right?
all right,
If you wanna
calm
wear
down,
that
like,
thong bikini at the beach, go for it.
right, let your cheeks out. All skin needs sun. It's like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Like, okay, yeah, there's good to be free and feeling free in who you are
Mhm,
and expressing yourself, but it just ends up, especially for people who are older and with mindsets like ours, it ends up making others look like you said have lack of self-worth and just
mhm.
like no respect for themselves, and this is before even thinking about respect for other people around them, right? Like it's just like, look, like what about yourself first?
Yeah,
How does you know it's interesting.
it is, and like you said, right, like, you should have the freedom to, like, do express yourself and feel comfortable and, like, do what you wanna do and stuff like that, but, like,
Mhm.
we really need to stress the importance again of, like, what it is to I don't know how to say it, like, not what it is to, like, be a woman, but, like, there's certain things and, like, certain standards that, like, we as women should, like, uphold, and
Mhm.
going around, walking around in, like, your lingerie and stuff like that, like, yes, like, maybe you feel empowered and, like, whatever the case may
Mhm.
be, but at the same time, like, you're not really setting a good example for yourself, and you're never going to have guys, like, take you seriously because they're already seeing everything that, like, they
Mhm.
would get if you
They
guys
want to
were
see.
exactly. So it's just
Mhm.
kind of like all that respect is already gone and you're already giving them like what they want and they don't
Way
respect
too
you. So
much.
it's like that growth of like relationship and stuff like that, if you wanted to talk to that person, isn't going to grow the way that like you would
It
intend it to.
naturally, yeah, like it naturally should without additional influences.
Yeah.
The influence of excess skin.
Yeah.
It's really, really funny because just the other day
Oh.
I was on like Facebook or Instagram. I think I was on Facebook,
Hmm.
and someone posted to their story, and it was this chick who apparently is, quite an influencer, and she was doing like a video from like being back in like 2006, and it was just like, oh, like getting ready for school back in
Hmm.
2006. And so it was just hilarious because it's just like she had on the two tank tops because back in the day
Oh yeah, the
wearing
whole
two tank tops were the
Hollister.
thing,
Yeah.
or yep, Hollister, and having on two collared shirts. And then it was so funny because watching it, one, just looked ridiculous, like looking at all the styles,
Yeah.
but it brought so many memories back because it was just like, damn, like this is straight facts.
Hmm.
And looking at the time then, from 2006, 2012 even, where, they had like the gaucho pants, and then they had the thick ass belt that goes around your waist with another like two or three tank tops and shirts on. Like, Muggs was wearing extra ass layers
Yeah.
of clothes, like an unnecessary amount of clothes. And she has so many videos, which the content is essentially the same throughout the videos, but it's
Mhm.
just funny looking at all these outfits of excessive clothes. And then you look at social media today,
Mm. So different.
completely different.
It is,
Like, how
yeah.
the hell did we? I understand wanting to do less laundry, but there's a different way to go about this. It's like,
There definitely is, like, it's just insane because, like, no matter what you do and, like, I was talking to my boyfriend about this, well, we talk about it all the time kind of, and, like, he'll just be,
mhm,
like, scrolling through his, like, Instagram or whatever, and, like, all he really ever looks up is, like, he's, like, obsessed with basketball. So, like,
mhm,
it's all, like, basketball, sports, like, cars, like, whatever, like,
mhm.
dogs occasionally, like, whatever. But, like, it never seems to fail that there always is, like, a naked chick, like, shaking her ass or, like, her titties or, like, something, like,
Wow.
wild, and he's just kind of like, "Where did this even come from?" Like, I didn't
Not even
even
relevant.
not at all, and it's just kind of like it is literally everywhere. He's like, "Where are, like, the well-dressed women?" And you're like, "Oh, like, that outfit is, like, really nice," or something like that, but no, it's always,
Mhm,
like, some girl with, like, her ass, like, in the camera and just kind of, like, trying to be like, look at me," or whatever, and I'm like,
mhm.
"Why are there so many girls out there, like, posing in these positions and outfits?"
Atten
Like,
Attention seeking for whatever reason, there's people out there paying them money to do that. Like,
yeah, it's true too, I guess.
it's wild because it's just like, think about, like, that's essentially like OnlyFans and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just you're making money just to
Sell your
do
clothes.
nothing. But the question is, how is that even relevant to anything that he is even watching on Instagram? You know what I mean? It's like,
I don't
how
know.
is booty butt cheeks relevant to a basketball dribbling down the court?
I don't know. I think it's just the algorithms, like, they're like, "Oh, this is a guy, like, let's just throw in some."
It's wild and it's sad because it's just, because we all know there are algorithms and, whatever within our feeds that are giving
Mhm.
us more than what we're actually seeking for, or a lot of what we just talked about.
Yeah. No, definitely. Because like, I don't know. Like, I don't generally I get a lot of, like, celebrity tea and, like, quotes and, like,
Hmm.
I don't know, just kinda, like, random, like, stuff, but, like, I don't really get a lot of, like, naked girls on my thing, but, like, if there ever is a time, like, 9 times out of 10, she is always
Hmm.
naked, and it's like, I don't see any, like, role model, like, career woman or, like,
Nope.
nothing, like, to me that you would wanna, like,
No.
look up to.
That's funny because it's the same for me as well. I can't say that I really have any like booty butt cheeks or anything out on my like for you or whatever page.
Yeah.
Um I just, I'm a mom, so I have a whole bunch of like parenting things that come up on there. And
Mhm.
then, the good old dog videos too. Those get me every time. Just a sucker for those and like the
Mm.
like different house hacks. But it's funny that I don't really see that actually come up on mine, but I really don't pay as much attention either. So
Mm.
because usually I'm not scrolling through like the for you or explore type of,
Gotcha.
whatever
Mhm.
page. So now I'm gonna be more mindful to take a look at
Yeah, I'm
that
curious.
and see what comes up because I don't usually have that type of stuff in my feed. And then
Mm.
even like for my man, he has like cars, like he loves cars, 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 cars. So kind of
I don't think
sickening,
say it like that.
but a bunch of cars. But he actually gets a lot of like parenting things too because of what I sent him.
Yeah.
So I have noticed that a lot of like something similar to what I've just sent him is always popping up in his feed or whatever, we just chatted about. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to ask him, like, so what's coming up on your page? Like, who you be seeing on your page?
I'm sure he gets
How much
them.
skin? Oh, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised. I would not be surprised. How much skin is on your page? Like, Everyone should just do a little random test and check out everybody's check out your significant other's little thing. What comes up on there? What we seeing? What we seeing? What they doing? What they got on there?
Yeah, because I don't know, it is interesting, and it's just kind of like, is that just like what goes like viral for it to like pop up on your stuff, or is it literally only women on Instagram posting pictures of themselves like half naked? Like, are women who are like established career women posting themselves in like, a full like, like the old school like Halle Berrys and stuff like that, right? Like they would be
Mm-hmm.
covered from head to toe. Like you wouldn't see an
Right.
ounce of skin and they were still fine as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
where are those girls back? Like, can we please bring that back into style?
I'm
Because
gonna start posing.
you're gonna have to. Gonna have
We're gonna
to.
start giving them something because you know what? And then it's just funny you saying that. I'm thinking, you know, and why aren't there any naked men?
You will never see I you will see guys dressed up in suits
Seldom.
or, in some like full like Fashion Nova outfit or, whatever the
Mm-hmm.
hell you want to call it, but you don't see no
Mm-hmm.
schlongs slinging around and like in these like thongs and stuff like that. Like you're not about to see
Not the
that out here.
slongs and thongs. I can't even say it. The slongs and thongs. Yeah, no, it's quite interesting how we
Hmm.
as women are
That's gonna be the title. Okay.
slongs and thongs. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't because guys aren't posting pictures like that, right? Like there
But
are
they
plenty
are.
of
I'm
male
sure they
strippers out there.
are.
Like look at Vinny from
Right.
Jersey Shore, right? Like
He's a male stripper?
well, yeah, he does like the Chippendales thing in Vegas. And it's like,
Hey.
so there are guys out there who are, posting these kinds of pictures. And I don't think he posts mainly those pictures, but it's a
Hmm.
thing, right? But it's like
Right.
those aren't the ones that are popping up all over your feeds. And
Mm-mm.
I understand like sex sells, but like you can be sexy without showing literally everything. Like,
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
yeah,
It's very
we
true.
need to start
But
giving ourselves a little more respect.
a lot
Mm.
more. A lot more. But the way today's times seem to be, that's going to take more than just a movement to be able to even get there. Because I just feel like, again, and not only I feel like it's quite clear, social media just dominates really what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like these chicks out here getting all this extra work done, boobs, butts, Botox, whatever,
Hmm.
just to look good naked. They're not about to be putting no damn turtleneck on.
No, probably not.
And it's just like
Mm.
how do we get there?
By us starting these kinds of conversations and maybe like sharing pictures of like the old school, because like you look at these people and you're like, okay, like, they do look good, like, and they're not
Mhm.
showing everything. So it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like history repeats itself, but I don't know at what point in history we ever wore lingerie. Like, correct me if
Um
I'm wrong, but I don't think I think we're making history.
no. No, because even so, I'm gonna murder the time frame,
Mm,
but it makes me think of like back in the day, like way back in history, where they would have like the women in the corsets and the big poofy skirts. I don't know if that was like a real thing or if that was like made up attire, but it's just
oh,
like, they have
oh,
like the tight corset
like,
top.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
There you
That's
go.
what pops
There
in
you
my head when you
go.
say that.
One of Cassie's favorites. Why wouldn't it?
Good movie, oh, good movie. Johnny Depp, bring it
But
back.
yeah, like,
Mm.
and it's just hard because it's just like, okay, and maybe that's where I got the image from. And it's just, is that really how they dress, or was that just from,
No, I think that's how they really dressed.
how do we know? Was it in our textbooks? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
girl, I think that's like the whole like Renaissance or like George Washington era or
there we go.
whatever.
That's the time
Yeah,
frame, the
yeah.
Renaissance. Yes, thank you. So yeah, so it's just like even, yes, they still had some skin exposed, but even if they wore like a corset thing, I'm sure they still had like a shawl or something over their
Mhm,
shoulders, and they still had a lot of material for the bottom
mhm,
half of their dress, and it's just we have to go all the way back to that. Like, I mean, that would be a nice
mm,
transition back into, wearing more clothes because it's like, hey, like,
mhm.
sure, your boobies are all fluffed up in the front, but, if you got a nice set, you got a nice set. But it's like, at least your whole, like, we can't see the freaking line for your crack to your you know?
Exactly, and that just
So
proves my point that you can't think of a time in history where we used to dress like this.
yeah, no, I really no, because it was never ladylike. Ladylike has become less of a thing. What's
Mhm.
a lady? You gotta ask. That's a good question to ask. Ask these kids today. What is a lady?
Girl, you're gonna get
What is a lady?
a whole lot of different answers to that question.
Can we bring back a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets? Because it's like she
We
a freak
definitely
in the
need to.
streets, freak in the sheets. She freak wherever she go. Like,
Yeah, they're gonna have to do a remix. Calling for a remix.
ah.
Because that shit is just wild. Like, okay, so I'm gonna give you another example, right? Like, this is
Oh
another
gosh.
topic that me and my boyfriend talk about all the time. He used to be like a very avid like gym goer, and he would tell me like the craziest stories of when he goes to the gym. And he used to go like super early, like 5 o'clock in the morning, like, so it's not like rush hour, but like these things would still happen.
Okay.
So, do you know those um Ethica outfits where it's
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like the spandexy like sports
Spandex.
bra and like boy shorts or
Yes.
whatever? So, I don't know if you know or have noticed, but girls wear these things outdoors. To me, that's an indoor outfit or an under your
Way
clothes
indoors.
outfit. Like, you don't wear those kind of short spandex out in public. But anyways, so some of these girls are out here wearing this outfit to the gym. One, already kind of wild in my old school opinion, right?
Yes.
But not only that, he tells me like he'll be down in like the weight section and there will be girls in these little spandexy outfits will literally go and like station themselves like in front of where he's working out at so they can like see themselves like in the mirror, but it will be like literally right in front of like where he's working out and where he's trying to like
Right.
look at himself in the mirror.
So they can be
And
seen
then so
by
one, so they can
him.
be seen to either sit there and do squats where I need you to keep this visual, right? We're talking about these
Oh
little
my gosh.
these like little short spandexy, outfits and stuff like that while they're doing
Right.
squats in front of guys, or they are like doing those thrusts,
Oh my gosh.
but
A
they'll do
fake
it.
of exercise of mine, but what the
Yeah, but they'll do it like spun around, right? So then that way like they're
vagina's facing him?
yes. And he's like, you will never know awkward as a man until you're in the gym and a woman comes in front of you to work out because he's like, I'm sitting here because I'm trying to watch myself work out in the mirror that's in front of me. And now it's just like mad awkward because like I can't look in front of me because if I look at you, then I look like a creep because why am I looking at
Right.
you while you're sitting there doing these like little thrust movements on the floor? And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go look up the thrust workout because let me tell you, it is an awkward thing to do
It
in
is.
a gym in general. Like I do them at home,
Right.
but I would
Yeah.
do them out
In the
in
yeah.
general, like in general, even in a corner somewhere. So to do that in front of like a guy is just like wild.
Yeah. That is for one completely disrespectful. And I'm not saying that because it's your man
No,
and
just in
he's in a
general.
relationship,
Yeah.
but right, like that is wild. Like I
He's like, well, we go to the gym to work out. Like we're guys. Like we're not there to like meet a girlfriend. Like
no, I'm sure some are like the single guys because you know
I
people be
mean, maybe,
thirsty.
but
But but why? Like why are y'all in this man space? Why are y'all in anybody's space with your underwear and working out? Like that is so not
I
necessary.
don't
That
know.
is so attention seeking. It makes me sick.
It does because like you think about it though, right? Like I don't know about you, but whenever I do actually go into a gym, like
Mhm.
I don't want to be around anybody. Like I like to
Same.
go hide in like my own little corner and like bring stuff
Mhm.
somewhere where like no one's gonna see me and be near me. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like the audacity for you to sit there and just like station yourselves in front of somebody else when remind you, like I said, like he'd go at like 5 in the morning. So there's not that many people there
Right.
as it is.
You know there's plenty of
So
space in
like
there.
what are you doing?
Plenty. That's so wild. That is beyond that's just beyond attention seeking. And you know us as women, like we can be super, super like schemy if we need to be.
Mhm.
Like we are the queens of schemes, right?
Definitely.
So like we know how to like line things up and make things work in our favor. And it's just, why are you doing that there? Like why are you like, go do that in a whole nother scenario for something else? Like why are you at the gym all up in the mirror space, your vagina all out? And y'all, like those thrust workouts are an awesome workout, but to not no.
No, not to do that all.
No, like that's
Ugh,
not okay. It's
mm-mm.
like if you're comfortable with doing them at the gym, that's absolutely fine. Do your
Right,
thing.
right.
But to be directly in front of someone, like to position yourself, it's not like you were there first and then the guy came over. Like
Mhm. Yeah, and he says it happens, like, frequent enough to, like, mention it to
to
me
talk about
sometimes,
it,
and
right?
he's like, God, just the look on his
Right.
face, he's like, "If you only knew how awkward." He's like
That is
like,
so
"Where am I
awkward.
supposed to look? Like, what am I supposed to do?" And now I have to interrupt my workout because I feel like I
Right.
need to
And go
leave.
somewhere else. Yeah.
Like, just wild. I don't understand.
Wow. And I will say I'm someone who has definitely like worn the compression like attire to the gym,
Mm,
because that's essentially what the underwear is like compression underwear is
mhm.
what it seems like. But like I don't know, there's just again a limit. Like there's boundaries, and I understand people should be able to go to the gym and focus on what they're doing, but when things like that occur of like chicks in their underwear type of working out, that's obviously distracting.
Yeah, it's hard not to look. Like, I'm a woman and I will look at you.
Right.
Like,
Same, yeah.
it's so hard
Yeah.
not to look. So it's just kind of like, you know what you're
Cause it's
doing when you
like
go in there.
the guys working out with no shirt on. It's just like that's OD. Like, why are you doing all that?
Right.
Like, it's the equivalent of that, and men can't. I mean, men could if they wanted to work out like that, but it's just I'm just so baffled by that situation. I'm just gonna stop talking because I don't even know what else to say. There's just that shit makes no sense. It's so unnecessary, so uncalled for,
It is.
and it's like y'all heifers ought to be ashamed of yourselves. What's wrong with
But they're
y'all?
not because they do it with pride. He even says he's seen coming in there with a little ring light to sit there and record their Instagram videos.
Oh
So
wow.
I don't
I
know.
mean, I guess you got to get followers somehow.
I mean, I guess, but like, why do we have to have our coochies in the camera while we're doing a workout to get views? Like, it's just wild.
Because coochies are the thing of 2024.
Girl, this has been a
I
thing since like
ever
I don't know,
2020 at
20,
least.
yeah, I was gonna, yeah.
2020 is when all those creative ideas came out because everybody was in the house bored. So,
Right, right.
this is where it all stems from.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I'm winking as I say that, guys. This is where it all stems from, 2020. This shit been on the fritz for a while.
Oh god, it definitely has, cause like, I can't even really pinpoint, like, when it happened, it just, like, started happening, and,
No.
like, I was even talking to one of my other friends the other day, and she was like, she was, like, looking on Fashion Nova at stuff, and she was like, "I really like this, like, top." She was like, "But
Hmm.
why does it show so much cleavage?" It was kinda like one of those, like, V shirts, but, like, it went
Hmm.
down, like, super low, and, like,
To like the
it
belly
was just,
button.
like, yeah, and it was just, like, super exposed, and she was like, "I like this, but why does it have to be so extra?" And I'm like, I
Right.
don't know. If you go through Fashion Nova, it's like everything is like
Oh
an
yeah.
inch of fabric, and it's just kind of like, "What? Like, what? Like, wear your
That's
clothes." Like,
why
who's wearing that in public?
That's exactly why I don't really shop on their site. Like I don't even bother to look, because also too their stuff their makes this is gonna make absolutely no sense when I say it. Their inch of clothing is made for the biggest boobs.
It makes plenty of sense because that is the way that the style is. That's fashion
Yeah.
right now for some
Like it's
reason.
wild. Like I literally would not look at buying stuff because I'm not a big breasted woman. Like my boobs are not big. Like
Yeah.
that's just not part of my stature. And it's like I go on there and it's like, well, I'm just gonna be extra exposed because I already like don't have much going on, and then the top is already extra small, and it's like, yeah, all right. So that's like deducting 2 points for me because don't got the boobs, way too much clothing missing. Okay, next. It's like, nope.
Yeah. No, it's insane. And like, I don't know. I could just keep going on for like hours and hours because like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you have also seen Kanye's wife and like one of her new like outfit trends. Have
The
you
fake Kim? No, I haven't seen her.
Oh. So he has this lady walking around in like um
See, now I'm gonna look it up while you talk about it.
kind of like one of those, the iconic Baywatch swimsuit.
Oh
How it's like the
yeah.
super like V-shaped kind of like one piece.
Yes.
So she'll be walking around outside in that, but it's a lot more boob exposure than the Baywatch onesie or
Oh
one
my
piece, or
gosh.
whatever you want to call it. And he's like trying to make that like a fashion statement. And I'm just like, why are we trying to give women less and less clothing? Like, why is this
Right.
attractive? Like, yes, women, we are beautiful. We have curves that like you want to show off and like
Wow.
all this kind of stuff. But it's like you can show off your curves and like tight head to toe clothing. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's wild.
absolutely. Yeah, I
Mm.
see what you're referencing here, and her boobs are already like super large.
Yes. And they have like a
So it makes it
t-shirt
even
line that's like
worse.
called Wet or something. And it's like a white like a shirt, like a white what do you call them? Wife
How
beater kind of a thing, and it says like
Yeah.
wet on it. It's I don't know. It's just
Wow.
I can go on forever.
Wow. Is all I'm gonna say is wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Cassie, you really served it to us today. Goodness.
It's just kind of like one of those things where it's like enough is enough. And I feel like a lot of us, or at least people our age, I'm going to assume, kind of have like these thoughts and these feelings, but I don't think anyone's truly like talking about it. Like you
Mm-hmm.
just either do what we do, right? Like you go through like Fashion Over, for example, and you just don't click on the things that like you wouldn't wear. But we're not
Right.
talking and speaking about like why the fuck are there so many things out here that like
Mm-hmm.
aren't wearable? Like
Right.
what is this? Like what are we coming to? It's just I don't know. It's
A
very interesting.
disgrace.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, those of us who, do not agree with today's trends and lack of clothing and, have younger people that we can influence are, at least saying something to those people or looking to raise those people to not be of today's times and
Mhm.
having less clothing, but at least raising our youth to be respectful of themselves and at least starting with that fact of clothes are good to have on and
They are.
less is not more.
That is just a true statement, and I think that that is a great ending.
Yeah,
And less is not more.
absolutely. Less is not more.
Mm.
But thank you very much for bringing light again to this topic because we know this irks the hell out of you, Cassie.
It does.
We know it irks the hell out of you, but yeah, y'all heard it. Less is not more.
It is not.
All right.
And with that, guys, we'll we'll talk to you guys next week.
Until next time.